What's up? What's up? What's going on? Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. What's going on, everybody? For Rip the Lip, I'm Ron Thoman. Kyle Hervey, my co-host here. You're watching Over the Cushion, powered by MCM Contracting, served in the Lehigh Valley for 33 years, owned and operated by Mark Daniels. This show is all about dirt track racing, covering news, current events, and talking to different drivers every single week. Huge thank you to our other sponsors, Bodie Marks Racing, The Shop Automotive Detailing, or theshopdetails.com. Smith Fabrication, Stage 1 Modified, DH Graphics, ProTech Roofing, and our special guest, Nate Freed Racing. So if you'd like to be a sponsor of the show, you can reach out through Facebook Messenger or email me at riptheliptv@gmail.com. We're live every single Sunday here at 8 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want full versions of these podcasts to listen to later, you can go check them out there. Let me get Kyle in here. What's up, Kyle?
What's going on, Ron? How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I am tired,
Tired.
as always.
Me too.
I just got home a few minutes ago from working on the car all weekend.
Nice. It never ends.
One of the cars.
It never ends.
Yeah.
Is
busy.
Is the slingshot ready for Bridgeport?
No.
Wait till the week of.
Yeah. My dad still does all the mechanical work on the car.
Okay.
So we got some mechanical stuff to do. Put the body back on. Put seatbelts and a seat in, and then spend a night on the scales. But everything else is pretty much done.
Very nice.
Over the
I mean,
whole
you definitely
car.
need a seat. I mean, that's
debatable. I'm not sure. I mean, if it was Pennsylvania, I think I could get away with a milk crate and a ratchet strap.
Probably.
But state police in New Jersey are a little more strict.
Just a little.
So,
I mean,
that's why I'm changing seats. I got to put a full containment seat in there.
Well, good thing you have one, I guess.
Yeah.
I heard they're expensive.
Yep. How was your week, Ron? Do anything fun?
Just trying to get acclimated to a new job, and that's always not fun. So, other than that, last week I got to see the new Ant-Man movie, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
This week we went to the movies last night to see. I don't know if you
Cocaine
watch.
Bear?
Do you watch? No, not Cocaine Bear. If you watch anime, Demon Slayer just started. Sort of. They released their like first episode of the new season in theaters. So they had a thing where like you watch the last two of the previous season, and then the first episode of the new season in theaters. So it was pretty sweet.
That's interesting. I did not know about that. This is getting very nerdy for racing people. I do love Demon Slayer.
If you have a chance, watch Demon Slayer. It's great. It's on Crunchyroll and Netflix. Anyway, besides that, just doing other nerd stuff, but just getting ready for the racing season, man. Just trying to get everything together.
More tracks are opening up. I think Lincoln ran today or yesterday, and then what was it? Was Port Royal had a race?
Yeah, and Dwayne Howard won the modified section.
Yes.
Who on the other side? One of the.
I'm not gonna lie, I just looked at it. I already.
Freddie Raymer. One of the Raymers, I think.
Nope, that's warm-ups. Freddie Raymer, yes, that is correct. And
I recognize the face.
I don't know who won the other race at Port. I have never heard their name before.
No clue. I don't really keep up with the sprint car racing too much, so whatever it is, it is.
You live in PA.
I know, but I like modifieds. I grew up around modifieds, man.
Dylan Cisney? I don't know how to say that. Cisney. I do not know the name. Parker Price Miller was second, and Anthony Macri was third.
I know Parker Price Miller and Anthony Macri, but
but
the other one, it sounds familiar. Like I've heard it before.
Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody that's watching can comment and tell us.
Maybe it's like
who that is exactly. And we will feel like less of idiots for not knowing.
I'll still feel like an idiot. I already know.
Hey, that's what we have this show for, so we can look like idiots, but publicly.
Exactly. Let everybody in on the humiliation.
But yeah, Slingshot Racing resumes next weekend with the 3-day show for the Spring World Finals weekend.
Yep.
I guess it's not really the World Final.
What's the World
Opener weekend? I don't know what they're calling it. Something like that.
I like World Opener, because then the World Finale at the end.
It will be cool. I am looking forward to seeing hopefully a good turnout for that, and hopefully somebody can beat Brett Bieber on the oval this year.
Not likely, but that's just me. I am biased.
I don't know if Randy is going with any drivers or cars. I know since Scott had a kid, he hasn't been running as much. So
yeah, but I think he won a race and he was he won indoors.
Yeah,
like the whole overall, right?
We should get Randy to get Jude in the car and let him run. I think
the first hurdle for that is actually getting in contact with Randy. Then we can maybe make some plans, but like,
I mean, Jude he's not easy there, right? He could just take the car, just
say, "Hey, Randy."
Randy won't even know.
He'd even tell him. He wouldn't even notice it was gone. He's too busy working on motors right now.
Sharon said praying the rain doesn't hit. Me too, man. Me too.
Man, that would suck. All this preparation and all this, but it's like March, April, so like, I don't even count Halen starts in 4 weeks, and it's just like, that's like opening day in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's like, it usually rains the entirety of April and only on Saturdays. During the week it doesn't rain, so I'm gonna just say April is a no-go, and then March we'll start racing.
Jude said he's tried and he's no fun. That's funny.
You gotta prove it to him.
Spirit Auto Center has been the first race of the season for the Slingshot Tour multiple times in the past, and it took me, I think, 4 years of trying to actually complete one race there, because it either rained out or I got to the track, ran practice, and it canceled. And I finally ran one race there. I don't think it was the opener, and then I ran the road course there last year. I've only run one race on that this short track at Spirit, and I love it. It's fun. Very reminiscent to me of the short track at Selinsgrove, which is also one of my favorite tracks that I wish we would go back to because it's badass.
Yeah. I can't really speak to that because I've never been on that track, but it was definitely pretty sweet to see the bodies on those cars wiggle around on Selinsgrove. Are you saying the small Selinsgrove or the big one?
The small one.
The big one was sick.
The big one was sick, but I mean,
the only thing that stinks about going to Bridgeport, sorry to switch it up, but is that it's in New Jersey. So like, it's so, oh my lord. So it's.
What are you trying to say?
Oh no, there's someone spamming. That's okay. I can't read it anyway. So cool.
See translation.
I really don't want to translate it because I don't. It's probably bad.
I still don't understand it. And I translated it.
No, it's in New Jersey, so like some of these young drivers can't participate because it's in New Jersey, and they won't let them. You know what I mean?
I know
so there are some younger kids that are good enough and would actually like to participate, and they can't.
That is very true. This year also the slingshots are exempt from it, but with small cars like micros and TQs, we have to run fire bottles in the car with single nozzles in the cockpit.
Yeah, I've seen that,
and installing.
I mean, some teams have already pushed for that. I mean, not pushed for it, but have already adapted to it, kind of. Like Braxton Denbeck, he's had one all last year. They're a little pricey on the front end, but I mean, it's really good to have the extra safety in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to see if I can delete these stupid comments.
Alan Shalot said Garrett can't run the All-Stars due to the age restriction. I think our upcoming guest also had similar issues with age restriction.
Yep.
They make it.
There's
only
one of the drivers.
3 people. Yep. There's only 3 people in the state police that work in like the motorsport division to approve resumes. So obviously they're doing other stuff, and so they don't have time to look at a lot of people's resumes. But I mean, I even know, like, I was talking to Paul Hartwig the other day, and he said he couldn't get in touch with the state police about getting Paulie approved to run the 602 at Bridgeport, which I understand. It's a bigger car, but still, I think
still same thing. You're just driving
he has enough experience. Yeah, he has enough experience in other cars and everything.
Yeah, I mean, he beat Ryan Newman on an asphalt track. I mean, I think we got to give him a pass here, boys. John Mirabelli said he got his New Jersey letter today, so they're good to race. But now there's no Speed Week race, so at least you got your letter, I guess. Maybe someone could throw him in a crate or something.
Like Blue's Clues. We just got a letter.
That's right. Other than that, I don't. Just everyone's kind of gearing up. I think Shellhammers is starting pretty soon, in like a week or so.
F1 came back this weekend. I was excited. It was a pretty boring race with just Red Bull dominance, but Fernando Alonso came back to a 3rd place finish, which was pretty cool, being in an Aston Martin, beating Mercedes and Ferrari Twitch team principals, and still has no idea what they're doing.
Cool. That's good. I mean, it's good when other manufacturers can break through like that, because then they get more amped to do it, and then they spend more money. You know what I mean? Then we keep pushing the competition. Seth Freed said last year they told us no way we could run the All-Stars, no exceptions. That's a bunch of bull.
Have gotten more and more strict over the past couple years.
It
used to be a little bit more loosely enforced, and you could get an application to run and they would get through it pretty quickly, but more recently I've been hearing a lot more people getting rejected or whatnot.
That sucks. Besides that, William Byron won today in the NASCAR. I guess Larson was leading, and then they had a caution late. And
Truex stayed out on old tires. Was the
Byron
got everybody else took 2.
Byron's team was clutch, got him out in front of Larson, and that was kind of lights out.
Yep, I was hoping either Larson or Truex would win.
Who won last night? The guy that won Daytona in the Xfinity car. What was his name?
I'm drawing a blank. I don't remember.
He won last night, and I can't remember his name.
I would have lost money if I had bet a parlay on Kyle Busch winning all 3 series. He was fast last night.
Oh, they actually let you parlay that? That's pretty wild.
I don't know if they do or not. I did not try.
Because I think they do. They let you choose the winner of the NASCAR thing, not like laps led or stuff
It
like that.
depends which sports book you're using.
Really?
I've heard there's a lot more options to parlay and bet in Barstool's sports booking. I
Yeah,
just use DraftKings.
I only use FanDuel's, but
Yeah.
hey, if it starts to grow and they add more specific lines, I think we could fit in a gambling section on this on the show.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, so let's get our guest in here. Let me
For sure.
stuff around. All right, so our guest this week is an all-star slingshot driver. I believe out of New York-ish area. No wait, he's down. I don't know where he lives.
Quakertown.
Quakertown.
I don't
Yep,
know what the
PA,
town's
PA,
actually
PA.
considered.
Yeah, so last year was his first full-time season in an all-star slingshot. He got 4 wins, I believe, 3 in a row at Hamlin, and got the track championship at Hamlin. So pretty darn good first year. Now he's moving up to a 600 micro sprint, so that's going to be super exciting. Nate Freed, let me go and unmute him here. Hello, Nate, you got me?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show tonight.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're getting ready for this season here. Been working on the micro. Just got dynoed, and
Ooh,
I'm
I
excited
know your
for it.
dad's been
Coming
sending me
quick.
lots of pictures. Oh, sort of. He's
Yeah, yeah.
Here's another shot of it. Look at that. I was like, it's very clean, and I'm sure it will
It's
look like
getting
that
there, yeah.
every single week.
Well, we're gonna
To
hope
have
to.
it dynoed.
Hope to keep it nice.
What did you
What's
say?
that?
I said, who'd you take it to have it dynoed?
We had Nash Healy at Hyper Dyno first.
Gotcha. Nash is a good kid.
Mhm,
Doesn't he
yeah,
race too?
definitely.
Yes.
I've
Yeah,
heard
he
the name.
runs sprints and micros also.
Very nice.
Sprint
Yeah.
car racing family.
hmm
Well, I mean, that's definitely the people to go to. I would assume. I really don't know much about.
Yeah,
The motors
they did a
or-
great job. We're happy with it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Running.
Well,
the
hold on.
Kawasaki
Paulie
and that.
said, "Yo, could you interview me at Shell Hammers when I run the 600?" Sure. We'd love to have you on the show too, but we could talk about that later. So, Nate, you're all-star slingshot all-star, and now you're moving into the 600. How
Yep.
much experience did you get in the 600? You've only driven Kyle's car?
Yeah, so I've driven Kyle's car for a couple laps around the track at Hamlin after the race, and then I was very fortunate enough to have the Knowles lend a car for me or for the night at the Hamlin, so I took that around quite a few times, and I was getting the hang of it. And now we kind of decided to see if we could do it ourselves next year. So yeah,
Yes, sir, man. That's going to be quite the jump, and at least you have a little bit of a feel for what the car is doing, I guess, a little bit. I mean, you
Yeah.
weren't really comfortable in it. I'm assuming just because it wasn't your seat, wasn't all set up
No.
completely.
yeah, we got kind of rigged up with blankets and foam and everything under me. So I'm really excited now just to have my own car set up for me where I'm comfortable and really be able to push the limit, see what we can do with it.
Yeah,
So it should be
'cause
fun.
from what I hear, and Kyle can probably attest to this, is if you drive someone else's car, you're not really going to be running as well as you would in something that's the seats catered to you and all the adjustments, and where it's the more comfortable you are in that tiny little compartment, the faster and more aggressive I would assume you could be.
Yeah, definitely. I remember we had a huge piece of foam behind my back when I ran Kyle's car, and by the end of Shayway, I couldn't reach the throttle all the way down. So it was it's a bit of a stretch.
I also sit ridiculously low in my car. Like, if you look at photos of me in my micro, I can't see past the dashboard of the car. Just under the principle, the lower you sit, the faster the car will go.
What principle is that? Is that
Lower
really a
center.
thing?
Yeah, 100%. Lower center of gravity makes the car accelerate better.
Because when I drove one, I wanted them to take off the little nameplate on top because I couldn't see.
That's what happened when I drove for Saccone in his micro at Greenwood. I had all the visors on the car for side force, and I ripped them off after practice because I couldn't see the cars going into the corner in front of me. I was sitting so high in that car. I hated it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd rather be on the ground.
I feel like I was looking down all the time, and I don't want to look down. I want to look out where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
To help.
So hopefully, fingers crossed, this year I can take a couple more laps in it and try again. But yeah, that was quite the experience. We actually raced together, Nate.
Yeah,
Couple
a little bit.
laps, just a couple
Yep.
laps, not too many. I had to spin out so I didn't run into you, but
Yeah, thanks for that.
yeah. And then my throttle stuck. Ooh, boo.
No, that's not good.
So
Nate, what are some big hurdles that you think you're going to have to overcome going from the slingshot to the micro?
Well, the biggest thing I've definitely noticed is the pace of everything happens so much more quicker in the micros than the slingshot, so it's just going to be have to getting used to the sliders coming and having to cross over and just the quick movements everywhere, it's just something you're going to have to figure out. But I've been running the simulator for iRacing a pretty good amount. I've been getting a feel for what it's like, so I think it'll take me a few races, but then we should be good.
Yeah, definitely. I think iRacing is a huge tool, as I've said previously on the podcast, and I know you guys went out and got a really insane rig. So I'm sure that's definitely going to help you get the feel for it, and I think you'll pick it up pretty fast. I mean, when you ran the few laps in my car, you looked pretty good, minimal mistakes and seemed to get the feel of it pretty quick.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be working all summer, and I was able to buy a nice rig to help with racing, and it seems like it should, so that's good.
You know what? This is really weird. One of the things that helped me get better on dirt racing and in general on iRacing was just running the pickup cup races at super speedways, because you gotta learn how to be so smooth there. And I always like iRacing for having the time delta bar that you can watch, so you can, when you're in the sim, change your line, do something a little bit different, lift in a different place, and you're like, oh, okay, that made up more time. And some of that stuff ends up applying and just makes you a smoother driver all around.
Yeah, I watch that a lot while I'm running, see what's faster and slower and whatnot.
Yeah, and speaking of the sim, when we talked to Christian Bruno toward the beginning of this show, the super good driver, won the Action Track championship, so running up front there is pretty insane. He told us I think it was during COVID, I don't know, Kyle, if you remember, but
yeah,
during COVID he was just running the sim, but he was just practicing sliders on it. That's how he taught himself how to do sliders in the 600, is just doing them in a midget on the simulator, which is he was racing against really good people obviously, but just getting that feel for when you're carrying that speed and doing something like that. So it's super cool to see how well the sim can translate over to, the track, especially now that you're going to be in a rookie class, I would assume. Being able to.
Yeah, we're gonna run it.
Go ahead.
We're gonna run it for a few races.
Oh, you're not gonna run it the whole year?
We're not sure yet. I'm gonna hope not. We're gonna try to figure out the rookies and see what we can do, and then if we're comfortable enough and we're fast enough, we'll try to move up to the regulars and see what we can do. But we're gonna start in rookies.
Yeah. Well, the best thing is that not everybody in that class is super consistent like the regulars, so you can make mistakes and it's not detrimental to your night. You know what I mean? So you have room to make the mistakes early, and then after you get used to it, then you can throw yourself into the regulars, and hopefully our car counts get a little bit better this year. I've seen a handful of people that want to come back, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of people posting about trying to get spots and setups for Hamlin for rookie class and regulars because they're coming back. So
good. So maybe you have some competition instead of the 3 cars that they had each week last time. You know what I mean? You can get some trophies.
If you want to maximize seat time, I think you're allowed to run both classes for 3 weeks before you have to pick one or the other. And the thing that scares me about the rookies is it's kind of some of the guys, it is rookies, so you don't know what to expect from the guys around you. At least if you run with the regulars, they're not just gonna, for the most part, just junk you out of nowhere. That's why I stayed away from the rookie class and just went right into regulars. But I mean, for someone as young as you, I think maybe running both classes in the night and maximizing the amount of seat time and experience you can get would make you improve a lot faster.
Yeah, that's just it too, why we're running the rookie class, just for laps and different track conditions, feeling out what's faster and how to do this and do that, so it's really just going to be for seat time and racing some people every now and then. But it's definitely going to be a little sketchy sometimes, the rookies, with people being all over the place. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it's just the restarts because that's where I've seen the most issues and flips and all sorts of stupid stuff. Is like either someone's a
Missing
little
shifts.
too, it's either someone's a little too angsty and like slides up and bumps into somebody, or you roll somebody's back tire, or some dumb stuff. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But I mean,
yeah,
everyone's new to it, fairly new to it, and there's gonna be it's unavoidable sometimes. Even in the regulars, you could run over somebody's tire or do something stupid. So it's
yeah,
not necessarily that you're going to avoid it completely, but at least there might be a little less cars. There used to be full fields of rookies. I mean, they used to have 2 features each night because there's too many of them.
yeah. Wow.
There's like 30 regulars or 30 rookies, so they split it into 2 features of 15 each. It was pretty wild, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's a good car count for rookies.
yeah, and they had a full field of regulars too. It was pretty nuts. So
Yeah,
hopefully
that's
we can
crazy.
get back to that kind of thing because I think I even saw Mick D'Agostino might be coming back for a couple races. Fingers crossed. He's
Mm.
a 3-time track champion. He actually did a three-peat. So I mean, definitely
Yeah, that
very
would be
good.
cool.
Um, any other tracks that you're thinking about going to? I mean, you're not really bound to Hamlin. You know what I mean? Since you're not going to be running the rookies the whole time, I would assume if you bounce back and forth. So you kind of
Yeah, so we're gonna start at Greenwood and Hamlin for probably this first half of the year. It's safe to say, and then depending on where we're at from there, maybe venture off to Kutztown and Shellhammer. So I want to go to Airport next year or this year, for sure. That's a cool little bull ring type track that looks fun to run. So
yeah.
honestly, just gonna see where we get to in the season. Where we're at and if we're good enough to start traveling all over the place or not. But we'll see, I guess.
Think you're able to make it to Shellhammers again? I know you raced there a few times in the slingshot. Would you ever want to run there in the 600?
Yeah, probably not all the time, but every now and then. It's very tight, so it's different aspects. It's cool, but I like being able to get some speed going and race people. But that's
Yeah.
just very different and different type of racing. It takes very, very, what's the word? You got to critique everything and be very technical with what you're doing to make sure you're fast.
Yes, sir. You got to get that GoPro going so you can
Yep,
analyze all your races every single week. 'Cause,
yep,
I mean, if you're feeling good enough, maybe you try to venture off to Speed Weeks.
yeah,
Why not,
yeah.
man?
Yeah, we'll see. I guess I want to try to do at least Greenwood, but
Hmm.
see what we can
Greenwood's a
run.
fun track.
That's what I hear.
It's it's banked differently than any other track that you're gonna run, if it in my opinion, and really promotes being able to either run the bottom or run the top. And when you run around the top, it's fast. It's a lot of fun. It feels like a super speedway, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, it should be tons of fun.
And there's a lot of good people up there, so you get a lot of
Oh
good
yeah,
experience racing with people. I just don't like their restarts. The single file starting the back stretch.
Yeah, that's.
yeah,
I mean,
it's a little different.
that's kind of like Clyde Martin. They start on the backstretch, right? Entering 3 is where they start.
Yeah,
Or
I mean, it's
something
not
like that?
bad in something like a slingshot. It actually, I think it's better in the slingshot, but in the micro, I mean, there's times if you're in the back, you're, you know, accordion coming off a turn 2 and the leader's already coming out of 4, and you're like, well, that sucks.
Yes, that is not.
Yep.
That's not good. So Nate, what are your expectations? I guess this year is it just get the laps in. Don't take this year too serious, and just get your laps in, get the experience and the seat time, and then next year go ham.
Yeah. So honestly, for me, I just want to really make sure I'm hitting my marks, doing what I have to be as a driver. Just doing everything right on my end. And if we are going to be able to maybe take some victories or podiums or even a top 5 every now and then, that'll be very well for the first year running micros, let alone third year running anything really. So
Hmm.
I think that would be a very solid first year in the micros.
Yeah, I mean it kind of reminds me. I would want to say reminds me, but it kind of feels like Hayden Deegan has started in his pro 250 class, and every time someone talks to him, it's just I'm just here to get laps. I'm just here to get the experience, and he's been more consistent than most of the people up there, you know, and he just got a podium last night, or yeah, last
Yep.
night I think. So like that
Yeah, that's awesome.
mindset of just getting laps, hitting your marks, I think that's probably the most mature or the best way to kind of approach it, because you're not putting any pressure on yourself. You're not, you know, worried about where you're finishing or what you're doing. You're just getting the experience, getting the laps, feeling how the car
Yeah,
feels. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know for at least right now, like I have no expectations as to going out and trying to dominate right away. I have no idea how to gauge whether I'm going to be fast in these or not. It might take a few weeks to figure out how to run them and then be fast with other people around me. So, like right now, like I said, I'm just trying to get out there, get laps, race some people, and we'll take it as it goes, I guess.
Yeah. Fortunately, Hyper has great resources online that you can
Yep.
read through all that stuff, read that, print it out, keep it in your trailer, read it when you wake up, go through that, and racing's a unique sport in the sense that you can't just go out and practice whenever you want. You can't just go throw pitches in the batting cage or something, or swing the bat. And having iRacing and being able to do that is great for just getting those reps in and getting more consistent. But reading through all the notes and everything, because once you're at the track, everything is going to happen fast, and you got to know what you need to adjust and when you need to adjust it. And it's going to be huge. Do you have any in-car adjusters in your car?
Right now, so I did have a Panhard on my car, but we just took that off and went straight to a W link. So I just learn on W and keep it that way, so we don't change it up. Other than that, for right now, we have a left rear adjuster.
Okay.
Just for right now, just to learn on, and then
Yep.
we'll add more on later.
Yeah, that'll be, a good place to start out and just get used to that. When you go out and practice, don't be afraid to, double whatever adjustment you want to make or something when you're just getting laps in to see what it does. When you have the ability, kind of swing for the fence on those adjustments, just so you can go out one time and then come in, change something, be like, oh, okay, that's what that's going to do, and then back it down to where you need to be. And that's how you're going to really learn what you need to do to the car and when.
Yeah, I think that's also a very big part of racing, knowing what each adjustment will do and what you should feel and whether or not, it's really working or not. That's just going to be a big part learning this also, just figuring out what I like to run and, learn the car too. It's all going to make me fast, and it's very important you understand what the car does.
I agree. So, what are we doing with the YouTube channel this year, man? We have freed speed on YouTube and a bit absent from posting videos. With this new division that you're joining and the popularity of the class, I think it's time to do a nice little reboot and maybe go down the vlog route, maybe possibly.
Yeah, fun. I'm thinking I'm gonna go back to YouTube. So last year, I was just really trying to focus and see what we could do. Just my main goal was staying as focused as I can throughout the night and just be smarter as a driver and just doing my right stuff, or like doing the right things whenever I need to do. So This year, I know I'm at least gonna have a GoPro on for myself 100% of the time. So whether or not I'm vlogging right away, I might just be posting in-car content, but it will be videos on the channel for sure, on the YouTube and the Facebook weekly.
Very nice. I mean, I personally would like to see you do even just like, hey, here's how we did in practice, here's how we did in the heat, here's how the feature, just like a little behind the scenes. It doesn't have to be extensive, you're not shooting B-roll and all this other stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just
me,
well,
maybe we'll have to work something out. You can shoot for me every now and then,
I mean, I don't have a problem with that, and we could probably make something work. I mean, I'm not gonna be a Chase Cabry, but I can help out as best I can.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Because it gives you more exposure. Maybe you get another sponsor, grow a following.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so much positive things that come from it, and it helps your public speaking. Helps you, when you get to that point where you're winning races, then you're more articulate. There's lots of plus to it. It's basically like adding more workload onto the already heavy workload, and especially with you and your dad. You guys are very in depth with your car maintenance, which showed with the All-Star. You know, you guys came every week with a spotless car, literally.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have a speck of dirt on it, even in the engine bay. It's like unbelievable. So I'd assume it's going to be the same this year. It's going to be, you know, a show car every time you pull it out of the trailer.
The maintenance for us has always been a super big thing, you know, making sure it's super clean, going over and check every bolt on the car and making sure, you know, there's no cracks or possibly something that could be going bad or something, you know, because it could be just a little stupid failure that ends your night in the feature while you're running third or second, like something up close. So we do our best at home to make sure we're ready to go when we show up to the track to race and give it 100% all the time.
For sure. I can't wait to see the car after it's lettered. Is it being sent to lettering, or what's the ETA
soon,
on that?
Yeah, we are trying to run Greenwood Bug Day, so we are going to try to have it ready ASAP.
When's the bug day?
25th of March.
Holy, that's that soon?
Yeah,
my Lord.
That's soon. I've been counting down the days. It's 20 days away.
Oh my gosh, it's like 3 weeks away. Holy cow. Because,
Yep.
what is it? Hamlin's starting on Bugs Days on the 8th.
Yep.
Everything's kind of showing up really quick. Hopefully it warms up. Still cold over here
that would
near
help.
Hamlin.
Yeah.
The snow's melting finally, but 40s is feeling like summertime.
I'm okay if
Yeah,
it
I
stays
know.
cool.
No. Cool is like 70
gets-
is the perfect temperature, and you
It
can't
gets way too hot in that micro.
stop it.
I think 70 is a good happy medium because when you're in a suit with underwear on and everything like that, it gets very hot.
Dude, I'd rather be sweating like crazy than freezing, dude. I don't care. You
Nope,
can't
it's
convince
too
me
hot.
otherwise.
It's too hot in those cars.
It does get warm, very warm.
Okay, I can get you there. But the only time I ran it was the end of the season, so it was like super cool
Comfortable.
out.
Exactly. My point made.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to turn the fan on, and the thing was just like steaming like crazy. I was like,
Oh, no.
hey, which switch turns on the fan?
That's why all of that is wired to one switch in both the TQ and the micro for me. I flip that
Yeah.
thing and I don't have to worry about anything else.
Well, I went to line up, and the car owner was off doing something else, and I was just like, maybe I should turn it off. And then it wouldn't start, and they had to push start me. Oh, it was.
Happens.
I know, but that's like my worst fear. Like, I've had nightmares that I'm like, I get a chance to run a race car, and then like I'm like late to line up, or like miss my heat, or miss the feature or something. It's true nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Happens to all of us.
if I get a chance to run one, and then I miss the race, you know what I mean?
That would suck.
That
not
would be the
good at all.
worst, the absolute worst. So I'm like always super anxious when I get to run it.
Getting in 20 minutes early.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm ready, guys. Let's do this.
Jude
They're
said
just
he's
singing-
worried about that as well.
Yeah, they're like singing the national anthem, and you're already strapped in. Meanwhile, like
Yeah.
other people like are so quick to do it. Like I remember Jared Selfie would hop in like his car as they were like lining up.
Yeah, he gets in super late. I don't know how he makes it out sometimes because like we're going on the track and he's not even in yet. I'm like,
He's like,
God,
yeah,
where are you? Like,
he's
where
like
are
the
you?
second heat, and the first heat's going out to run, and he's like, yeah, I guess I'll get in now.
Yeah,
All mind
maybe.
games. I hate being the first person lined up. That shit sucks. So we we skipped over talking about how you ended up getting into racing. What's your family
true.
history with racing and everything like, and how did you guys end up with the slingshot?
So, my family has always been very involved in cars and drag racing, and my dad went to high school with Ryan Taylor, who runs 410 sprint cars, and we have been helping him out for quite some time now. Especially before I started racing, we were going there a ton and helping him. And one day in the trailer, was like, hey, have you ever thought about racing something? I'm like, honestly, I haven't. And it started coming up, and we were going up to S&S very often in fall of 2020, I guess it was, and 2 years ago, we bought a slingshot and showed up at Hamlin. We raced it, and it's been great ever since. So I'm glad we started because it's been a blast.
Yeah, and I've seen your dad's drag car is well, he sent me a video of the Mustang swap, and it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, he's very involved in that stuff. They love them.
That's super cool. Connor Mirabelli wants to know if you're changing your number or are you keeping the 9X? Because then
Ah.
we would have two 9Xs
I
in
think I'm keeping it.
regulars.
I think I'm keeping it.
Think you're keeping it? I mean, you would probably have to switch yours because Connor was there first, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it works in racing? He was running it
I'm
first.
not- I guess I'm not sure to be honest. We're gonna keep it for now and
Let's
see.
settle it
Problem.
on
Nine,
match race.
the 9. I don't know what could you do? 9F. That just I don't,
Yeah,
know.
I
I don't like
guess.
the way that sounds though.
Yeah, 9X is definitely an awesome number. So I guess if we have a problem at the track, I could just go for 9F or a race or something like that. But
That's why we have different transponders. We can all have the same
Yep.
number. It's fine.
yeah,
But yeah. So you started off, with your dad and stuff. Like, what was your first experience in a race car, in a slingshot? I guess you started in the slingshots, right?
yeah. So I started in juniors in 2021. My first time ever there was Hamlin Bug Day. It was April 9th, I think, was the exact day. I remember it all. We got there and it was just like, holy cow, this is a racetrack, and we're pulling in with a race car in the trailer and we're going
So
racing.
cool.
So it was a crazy day for sure. We learned a lot. I got tons of seat time in, and it was so much fun. I was just like, man, I get to race now. So it was a very crazy moment for sure.
Just instantly hooked.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Has Dad ever hopped in the car and taken it for some laps?
We were just talking about that today. I'm like, Dad, I think you're gonna have to hop in at Bug Day and see what I'm feeling all the time. Like, you give me this crap, like I'm not fast. Well, let's see what you
Well,
can
let's see what you got, pops. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are like the same size, right? you can fit
Yeah.
in your car.
do. Yeah. He could squeeze in there for sure.
Maybe I'll bring my car up to Hamlin and let him run it, and y'all can dice it out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now
That'd
we're
be sweet.
talking. What are you doing April 8th? Kyle, come on up.
Yeah.
Let's go. I would love
Yeah, that
to
would be
get some
sweet.
footage of Bug Day. Is going to be fun because there's no actual races, so I'll
Yeah.
have a little more freedom to do video stuff. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, it's
yeah,
gonna be fun.
once the actual racing starts, it's going to be absolute chaos.
Jude wants you to run the 9X Junior.
Oh,
9X
that's a
Junior.
number.
Let's go.
That's a mouthful. I can't wait to hear the announcer say that one.
Yeah. There's an Onyx Junior and Nate Reed.
You could. Oh, I saw somebody with a late model that had the word beer across the side, and then two cans, like vertical shots of cans as the E's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Then you could just be like the 00.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I think I piqued Dad's interest.
Yeah, look
Yeah,
at
you
he's
definitely
like,
did. I saw that.
He's like, bring it up, boys. We'll get some GoPros in there. We'll get some good footage of dear old Dad in the
I got
Yeah,
I
in
got
the 600.
I got a tough
be
schedule
awesome.
to work around this year, unfortunately.
Yeah,
or
but
I'd
at
love
least
to
you're
try
not
and make
running
that
the
happen.
600, man. Just like he can come up and grab it. No big deal.
You know, just swing by real quick, grab the car, leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could probably fit in the back of the truck
You
bed,
fit some
right?
Cars in the trailer.
Yeah, for sure.
Ah, that's true. Yeah. Easy, see? You could just rent it out.
Yeah.
You're so focused on the
That's a
TQ,
good
why
idea.
not?
I want to make sure he signs the damage waiver.
Oh my gosh, John Mirabelli's gonna hop in one.
Oh man.
Yes, sir. We're
Battle
gonna have
of
the
Dads.
Battle of Dads.
What did I start?
It'll be like the mechanics race. We'll have we should talk him into letting the 600s do a mechanics race this year. Yes,
That'd be cool.
sir.
It might be a little crazy and hectic, but it'd be cool.
It would be great because they've done the powder puff with the slingshots before, and they've done that NASCAR challenge or whatever. They've had the NASCAR guys come up, or the pit crews
Yeah,
come up and run
that's-
them and stuff.
That's in the slingshot stuff.
I know that's easier to just hop in and run them.
I
would
had
assume.
Cole Witt drive my car one year.
But now that they changed Pocono weekend, so it's like probably hard for them to do it.
Yeah.
Justin Shermer says Nate's gonna clap up Pops. Travis Hahn says I may be in an all-star on Bug Day as well. Let's go, dude. Let's go.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna be there.
Oh, they did that. Or Miss Hendershot said they did that at Snydersville. Yes, we
Yeah.
got to talk them into doing some cool stuff like this, because it's like
That'd be
it gets like the teams involved in something fun, and gets the the fans excited to see not the drivers run around. Because like the NASCAR crew, when they raced, it was so exciting to watch them. Because like the first, like they would be switching the lead over and over, then some guy would come from the complete rear, pass everyone, go to the lead, and then he'd fall back, and it was just like they lead changed like 10 times. It was amazing. Because
Yeah,
like
it's good
everyone's
racing.
on the same skill level of they suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We used to do handler or mechanic races in quarter midgets too, where the parents would squeeze into the little cars and run them.
Oh,
And my dad broke some shit when he did that. I forget if he just popped the chain or if he broke the axle or something. But
Oh my
man, the
God.
parents go out there and they're ruthless. Like it's
That's
like they're
gotta-
in rental cars.
Because it's their money. They're
That's-
like, I don't care if we break
My
stuff.
dad
I
wasn't
paid
even
for
in
this
his-
shit.
My dad wasn't even in my car. He borrowed somebody twice my size's car. He wouldn't fit in mine.
yeah, I can't imagine squeezing in one of those. Like,
No way.
I've
that's gotta be
I've squeezed back into one, and I'm like, man, I don't think I can do this.
no. They're tight.
They are. There's, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
They're
Do
small
you think
cars.
there's more room in a quarter midget than a 600?
No.
Because 600, there's not a lot of room.
The Hypers in the six, it's crazy how different the Hyper 600 is when you sit in that compared to like my Triple X. I'm like sideways in my car. It is not comfortable. My feet are touching. I've sat down in people's Hypers and I'm like, wow, you actually have leg room in this? And like, what are you talking about? I'm like, go sit in my car, man.
Go
You're
sit
not
in
gonna
that
enjoy
one.
it.
Yeah, your car was definitely very tight. I remember running. I'm like, holy cow, this is quite the squeeze in here. Just your legs are together all the way to the right. Like, what in the
Yeah.
world?
Yeah, and
Well,
that car is actually a little bit better than the previous 600 that I had. That other one was even tighter for whatever reason.
Do they have to have the? I mean, obviously the motor's like pretty big, but like, could they, theoretically make it so that you would sit like you would be in like a stock car straight, everything straight ahead, or is that too much? Putting the weight to the left and it would make everything.
That's how
super
it
weird.
is in the. That's how it is in Lightning Sprints. 1,000 motors. They sit straight up and down. I think.
Well, yeah,
Your
you got
center of
1,000
gravity would be too
cc's.
high in the micros.
That's like way more power.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
they
why.
run them out west.
Yeah. The TQ is like because the engine's rotated the other way, because it has a drive shaft instead of a chain, so it turns 90 degrees. That is like when I get in that car, I feel so comfy because there's so much more room.
Yeah,
Could you put a drive shaft in a 600? Is
Yes,
it-
but you'd have to put a midget rear in the car.
Huh.
It would basically be a midget at that point. A smaller midget.
Could it be like its own class?
Well, I mean, that'd be closer to a lightning sprint. I'm sure the lightning sprints run a full midget rear in them because
What about
the drive shaft's probably
Have
running
you
between
ever
your
have you
legs.
guys ever driven or sat in an Excel 600?
I've not.
I've seen them, but they're pretty tight in there too.
Really? I always thought they were. I know they still have the engine on the left, but like I figured it was more like a stage one.
It's
'Cause, like-
definitely more room than a micro.
Because
but
like
it's-
looking at the stage
it's
ones, I'm
flat.
like that thing looks like a goddamn recliner. You're like
Yeah, they are
straight
huge
chilling in
inside.
there.
Yeah.
Like let's do that concept of the stage one modifieds, but put a 600 motor in it. You think that would work?
No, because you wouldn't be able to shift or anything like that. I mean, nah, because that'd be too much weight in the
Too
rear.
much.
I think.
Too much, man.
Yeah, with the transmission and everything like that, that'd be a lot of work to make that work. If you got rid
We
of the
were looking
transmission
at-
and everything.
We were looking to get one of those for this year, the stage ones, but we decided just to go with 600s and learn now, so we're
I think that's
somewhat
probably
ready to
better.
compete next year. But
That would
Yeah.
probably be a better. Like you have more growth potential in a 600, I feel, and there's
yeah,
more races around. I know stage
We
ones
did
are still expanding, and there's a lot more people running them now, and they're getting more races and stuff. Like, but the 600s are just way out there. You know what I mean? You can go
Yeah, we-
pretty much everywhere.
we kind of jumped the gun on the micro. So when I'm 16, 17, I'm like competing and ready to go somewhere possibly else. Just be ready to compete for big races and big wins and whatnot. So
Well, how
this
old are you
year's just
now?
gonna try to be a. I just turned 15.
You just turned 15. You still a baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, another year or two, you'll be ready to dice it up, man.
Oh yeah.
Then you can
That's
run
the hope.
full time at Action track? That'd be great.
That'd be great. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Jude said, "I've been told Excels are fat guy friendly. Sign me up, Jude. Let's go, man." Let's we got to.
That'd be awesome to see Jude run a car.
Me too. I want to see Jude run a car too. I'll take the
I think we all
flags.
do.
I'll take over the flags. You hop in the car, Jude.
Jude would probably be so good from all his SNS laps over the
That's
years.
right. That'd be great. I mean,
Right.
I'll flag for you, dude. Don't like you. Let me know. I'll get someone to film and I'll flag. I don't care.
Use the power of the podcast.
I've
to make
always
this
wanted to
happen, Ron.
flag so bad. I see like people like Joe Chris for like Short Track Super Series, and who I forget who does it for the
Yeah.
for the Super Dirt Car Series. But like I always wanted to be a flagger, just to like point at the cars, be like, "Stop
Yeah,
jumping
where
the
to go."
start, get out of here." That would be great.
Yeah.
We got a lot of cool stuff going on. Yeah, I would love to sit down and talk to like Randy and Denise and see if we can get some fun things on the schedule. I think that'd be super cool. I mean, hopefully,
Yeah.
fingers crossed, the pit crew challenge happens for the for the Firecracker 50 this year. Still wish it was 100
Yeah.
laps. Pretty bummed that it's not 100 laps, but
I don't know, 100 lapper is pretty long of a race. I'll tell you what. I was in there and it was just like, holy cow, we still got 30 laps to go.
they're like you're on lap 30. It's like of 100.
Yeah. What in the
Yeah.
world? I've already been in the car for a half hour.
It's rough when you're like leading one of those 100-lap races and it's just going, and you're like, how many more laps do I got to do? Like, oh, the only one that I got to lead was at Action Track. It's like one of the only times I've got to lead the race at Action Track, and I led like 40 something laps, and I'm like, damn, man, any other week if I did this, I would have just won 2 features, and now I'm out here leading a 100 lapper.
Yeah. Yeah, that race was crazy. That was something else. I tell you what. I remember I was up there, I think, 4th or 3rd, and got dumped around lap 50 and made it back up to 6th. But I think I had a pretty good shot at winning that one.
I don't know if I was there that night, but well, circling back to the All Stars, you ended up getting your first wins in the slingshot or in racing in general, right? So like when you
Yep.
won at Shellhammers, right? Shellhammers was your first win.
Yep.
So what was the feeling going through your mind getting your first racing win ever?
So that was actually a crazy night. So I remember I pulled into Chalets and I pulled like 100 out of 100 for my pill. And I'm like, oh, that's great. So I started dead last and I managed to win it. And I started pole, and I know I had tons of great guys behind me. Jack Schoen, especially, he was really hot that week and he was ready to win another race. And I just remember thinking, like, holy cow, if we could actually pull this off, it would be crazy. And somehow we did. It was a stressful moment because, you're pulling off, you're going to the green, and it's just like, all right, we got to do this and win this. And it was just made sure my line was where it was needed to be, and it was just that same line for 30 laps or whatever, and it worked. So it's awesome.
So like I guess if you could remember, walk me through like pulling into victory lane, taking the helmet off, and your dad
Oh yeah,
is there and stuff.
I just see. I saw my sister and my dad. They were running over, and they were just like super happy. I pulled on the scales. I'm like, oh, I better make this. Like, if I don't make weight, I'm like, what the heck? But we saw that, and I was like, we're good. So we were clear, and it was awesome.
Now, did you get like a special like first win dinner on the way home or something? You said stop at Denny's or something?
I don't remember. I think I took a nap on the way home.
You're like,
quite
I
honest.
spent all my energy winning this race.
How does
Yeah.
anybody fall asleep driving down 380 bouncing your ass off?
That's a good question, actually.
Oh my gosh, because your dad actually sent me he took a video on his phone through the fence and like sent it
Yeah.
to me like immediately after you won. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it was pretty soon after like he took the video. He's like, we did it, and he did not miss his mark once. And I watched every second of that video, and I was like, you are
Yeah.
just smooth operator all
That
the
was
way.
that was a great race. The car was perfect, and I did what I had to do. And that was the track, the way it was. You just had to be like, I don't even know, maybe 5 inches off the tires to be where it was fast, and it was just so close the whole time. And it was a great race.
Yeah. Justin Shermer says Denny's Seth ain't that cheap. And then going.
Nah, maybe Rudders.
We're splurging. We're going to Rudders.
That's
getting some
right, baby. We're
five-
going to Cracker Barrel. Let's go.
fried pickles and frozen tiramisu to celebrate.
Yummy. So then after you win at Shell Hammers, that was on a Wednesday, right? And then you come back to Hamlin, and I think you won that week, right? Because you won 4 times that month.
So no, that was.
Or is that a different time?
That was different. The next week was the big race at Hamlin when Brett Bieber came up. I think that was the Super National weekend or something.
Yeah.
And the track was just single file, and me and Brett ran 1 and 2 for the whole race. I just couldn't get past
gosh, that was a battle.
I was just like, what do I do? So I was just trying stuff, but there's no way I could get past him without, wrecking me or him. So
And
that was a battle. I
did all I could, but
Brett's one of those guys that it's hard to rattle and get him to lose his composure too.
Yeah.
He'll say afterwards that, like, I can't believe I kept it together. I can't believe I messed up or something. And you're like, yeah, right, Brett. Come on.
He's
so
good.
nice.
Heat race last year in Atlantic City. Oh, we got our spammer back on.
Oh,
Sweet.
Free views. Who
We
cares?
must be doing something good right if we got spammer.
But
Yeah.
last year at Atlantic City in the heat race, I had Brett in front of me and I was running second, and I was just pushing him around the track and trying to make him make a mistake, and I couldn't get him to. And after the race, he's like, dude, you were just glued to me the entire time. He's like, I just was trying to everything I could to get away, and I'd feel you pushing me. He's like, what did it look like my car was doing? I'm like, I don't know. You're driving it. You tell me. It wasn't faster than mine. I just couldn't get around you.
That's funny. Yeah, because you raced against Brett that night, and then you were pretty bummed that you couldn't get past him. You were pretty bummed because you couldn't win. And I was like, I remember this very clearly. I was like, when were you born? And you told me, and I was like, that's when Brett Bieber started racing slingshots.
Yeah.
It was like the year you were
Yeah.
born. So it's like you're doing it right. I don't know what that sound was in my headphones, but it sounded pretty cool.
You got 310 stars.
What?
There
Okay.
you go.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Whoever did that, I can't see it right now,
Thank you,
but
Justin.
I appreciate
Justin
it.
Shermer sent it.
Holy cow, man! He wants his comment
Our
pinned or
first-
something.
Our first stars.
That's
Pretty
amazing.
cool.
Unbelievable. There it is. Now it's popping up on the streams. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that, man. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, but that was the kind of conversation we had after that. But then, I guess talk me through your first Hamlin win, because even though our car count was low, winning at Hamlin is no easy task, and I still think it carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, so I know. I'm trying to think. There was a pretty good amount of cars there the first time I won, and I think I started 3rd or 5th. I was in the inside. I'm pretty sure I pretty much got to the front within the first 5-10 laps, and I just kept going. I know for a fact the 3rd race, one of my biggest sponsors, North Penn Hotchkiss Plating, he was there, and I was able to win it for him. And it was a battle between me and Turpin for a little bit there, and I was able just to maintain a good line, keep composure, and I was able to pull away at the end. And it was a great win because my main sponsor was there. It was awesome.
Yeah, and you won 3 in a row that year, right?
Yeah. Yep, that was my 3rd in a
Dang.
row.
I feel like that's up there as far as most in a row all time in the All-Stars. I mean, I really don't know, though, because I can't look back too far.
I think if I won one more week, if I made 4 in a row, I think I would have held the record because Scott has 3 also.
Yeah, I mean, when
I
Scott was
remember
running...
Randy was telling me.
Yeah, well, when Scott was running, I mean, he was near unbeatable, and
Yep.
his car looked unlike anyone else's. Just the way he drove and set it up was just, I don't know. He's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wish I could have ran him a little bit more. I think I raced him like
Hopefully
once or
we
twice
can.
at Cookstown, and it just wasn't much. But I wish I would have raced him and see if I was fast or like nearly fast, But
Hopefully we can get him to run a couple races at Hamlin this year. I mean, last year I think he ran 1 race there and won it. So it's like, even if he takes the whole year off, it doesn't matter. Like, he just hops in the car.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's like riding a bike for him. You don't forget.
If he ran it as long as Brett Bieber, I think he'd have a lot of championships. he almost three-peated in the Worlds too, or maybe he did. I don't remember, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty wild how good he is. But
yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy.
hopefully we can get him in a 600 or something. I don't know. Like I feel like he's so good. We need to get. I would love to see him in a bigger car. But
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what he could do.
me too. Same with Brett Bieber. All these guys, man. Just we need.
Yeah,
I need to
wanna see
figure out how to
Brett
get
on
me
all
a
sides.
602 crate so I could just give everybody like a
Yeah.
weekend. You know what I mean?
yeah, that'd be
Get
awesome.
you in there. We get
Scott.
Brett.
Scott is so smooth. I noticed. I was watching one of your videos from Hamlin, and
Oh
he's
my
just so
gosh.
smooth. It's a very minimal movement of the wheel, and it's just so smooth and perfect.
It is. It's
Yeah.
pretty wild, man. Ben Litka says his dad, talking about you, his dad makes sure Nate is learning the mechanics of the car and taking care of it. I'm sure he stresses that quite a bit with you.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, like understanding what adjustments to make and what it's going to do is very big. Because he's like, all right, go do this real quick before we go out for the feature. I can do it. I know. Okay, that's going to make the car a little bit tighter or looser, or anything like that. It's always going to help to just understand what it's going to be like when you go out the next time.
Yeah, and being able to take it apart and put it all back together probably helps a ton.
Yep.
Especially with the 600s being so many pieces and probably
Yeah, they are built very well. I was surprised. I first got my car home and I took it apart to bare chassis, and it's just like, holy cow, they pack so much stuff in here, but it's so properly designed, and it's just a race car. It's awesome.
it's nuts. So Nate, we're kind of winding down here. We're around the little over the hour mark, so kind of just gonna give the floor to you. If you have sponsors you want to thank, people, family, you want to shout out any of your social medias. Now the floor is yours, and you can kind of take over from here.
All right. First, I got to thank my family for being super supportive of the race and making a huge commitment each and every week, in the track and home, just making the car ready. And it's a huge commitment, and I'm very thankful that we can do this. I'm also very fortunate to have so many great supporters on my race team. I got KMA Contractors, North Penn Polishing and Plating, East Speed, NF Construction, Dan's Diesel, and Precision HVAC. As well as this year, I got some new sponsors helping me out, Zion Auto Works and Advanced Welding and Fabricating. I also got to give a big thank you to my dad, my grandfathers, Brad and Jim. They're there every week at the track, making it all possible and behind the scenes where we can get some speed. Go follow the racing page on Facebook and YouTube at Nate Freed Racing. We post there multiple times a week, just updates and videos. The YouTube really is cool because I can go back and watch my first races really and just see how much progression I've made over 2 years of racing. It's pretty cool. So I'll be posting there throughout the year.
Good, man. Definitely,
That's what I got.
definitely got to keep up with the YouTube, and I'll try to bug you about it during this season because I need someone to bug me about it as well because I'm trying to be ambitious, but I'm very lazy. So I'm just like, I feel like there's competition now with like Lowdown Entertainment, and I want to make sure like I keep up with all the stuff they're doing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but your videos of Hamlin every week are super helpful for us, the teams, to watch. I'm sure, and everybody else watching it. It's just cool. Grandparents that aren't able to make the race can watch it at home. It's just very cool.
Yeah, and it's
So thank you.
It hopefully. Oh, thanks. Well, I'm just trying to help Hamlin stand out. You know what I mean? Because a lot of places don't have video coverage, or if they do, it's streaming, and that kind of stinks. But hopefully, we make it stand out even more with the drone stuff and whatever else I'm kind of cooking up in the backgrounds here. But yeah, Nate, it's super awesome to have you on here, and thanks for taking the time to sit down and talk with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on the show. It was a great time, and very appreciative you gave me the opportunity to come on here and share a little about my career. So thank you.
No problem, man.
Thank you.
Once you get your car wrapped, I will make the trip down to make a video on it because I can't wait to see what it looks like because it's going to look sick.
Sounds good.
It's going to look sick.
You guys all have pictures right away.
Kyle, you got anything to close with?
No, I mean, I'm looking forward to running some races with you if you come over to Action Track. I don't really know if I'm going to be going anywhere else. I haven't gotten to run you in the Slingshot, so I'm looking forward to running you in the Micro.
Yeah, me too. It should be lots of fun. Give me a month or two, and then I'll be up with you.
Yeah, get up to speed a little bit, then we'll be.
Yeah.
I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll have to make my way down too if work allows it. But yeah, Nate, really appreciate you coming on. An hour is a long time, so I appreciate hanging out
Yep.
with us for over an hour here, and good job reading the sponsors. Nice having
Yep.
being able to thank all the people that make this possible, since it's very sponsor heavy for the most
Yeah,
part.
they make it all possible for me, so I got to make sure I give it back to them and give them the support they need there too. So
Agreed. So, yeah, I really appreciate you guys being on here. And Kyle, thanks again for 22 weeks of silliness. Hopefully,
Here's to 22 more.
we can 22 more and 22 more after that. And thanks for everybody
Yeah, keep
watching
it going.
this. Well, hopefully this summer will kind of catapult everything if I keep doing more and more. But thanks for everybody that was watching for the most time. I mean, I held pretty steady at 20 to 25 viewers the whole time, so that was like super exceptional. And thanks for everybody chatting in the chat, and comments throughout the show is really helpful. Likes and shares help a lot too. Thanks Justin Shermer for the 310 stars. That's like super generous, and really appreciate you didn't have to do that, but that's awesome. Just a cool thing that Facebook has, kind of like Twitch has bits you can give. Facebook has stars, so you can either pin comments or do different things with the stars, and we get a small portion of that. So I really appreciate you guys for watching and tuning in. Next week, I don't know if it'll be live. Kyle, we're doing a pre-recorded one
I'm
for
not
next
sure.
week?
I don't think we can do the pre-record this week, so we're gonna have to find somebody else for next week, but we'll make it work.
Okay, yeah, we could talk a little later for that one. But
Yep.
yeah, we'll have post up this week about who's going to be on next next time, and I appreciate everybody for watching. So we'll see you guys next week at 8 o'clock.